friends, welcome back to my channel named Sam Ganesha Practical HR and Law. After a long gap of time, I'm here to share some of my knowledge or little bit experience which I have in the field of HR till now. Because of some my personal chows, I was not in connection with my this YouTube channel for a long time. But now I'm having enough time to work on my this YouTube channel. As all of you know that the motive of my this YouTube channel named Sanganisha Practical HR and Law is to share my I'm a HR professional as well as legal professionals. I've been associated with so many companies in export houses or in corporates in heavy industries, and I've served there in HR admin or compliance part. So basically today I'm going to speak or going to tell you a very interesting area or very initial requirement of HR. So this is the statutory compliance. Even though if you are a HR professional or you are working in a company or you are working in public or private sector or you are working in the government agency or bank or etc., everyone must know what is the basically statutory requirement. As far as the HR is concerned, HR is what? We need to tackle the HR, human resource of the company or the organization. Every human being has certain requirements, basic needs, and in order to fulfill those needs they used to work, and in return of their work they get back, they receive their salaries as per the terms and conditions decided during their requirement. Fine. So in brief, there is a very interesting topic named statutory compliance. Many new MBAs aspirants who are degree holders seeking a suitable opportunity in HR, and those who wish to go ahead and definitely need promotion or seeking some growth in their HR career, as well as those who are experienced also, because compliance is such an area where everybody need to focus, although they have some knowledge of compliance, but in day to day or in periodically there are certain changes that takes place in this statutory part. For example, in 2020 the four codes related to labor laws have been introduced and implemented by the respective government and the bodies. So we need to be aware every time in regards to the statutory compliance. So first of all, in this video I am going to tell you in brief that what is the statutory compliance related to the field of human resource, right? So meaning is what? Meaning of statutory compliance: every company, every agency, every organization, every government, everybody is governed by a few rules and regulations. And as far as HR is concerned, all these rules and regulations are described under certain labor laws. So labor laws is a very vast field. Many of my friends who are maybe watching this video, so they have good knowledge of labor law, but how to implement those labor laws, it's a question. Labor laws are what? In any organization, all the activities of the human resource are to be governed by certain labor laws, local labor laws. So for example, if I am working in my factory, I'm looking after the HR. First of all, I need to be adherent on the provisions laid down under Factory Act 1948. If I am working in a corporate office, so what is my basic prime responsibility? To implement the certain instructions or which are already given under the Shop and Establishment Act. Fine. So this is a very small example. So let's discuss about the statutory compliance, the role of HR under the statutory compliance. Of course, as HR department needs to handle all HR activities at 360 degrees. Once when an employee comes in my factory or join my company, and since then he or she leaves my company. So this is the prime responsibility to HR to provide him or her all the relevant or benefits, required benefits, which are already laid down under the law. For example, if I do talk about the day-to-day HR activities, all these activities are governed by the certified standing orders. Every company has book of certified standing orders, and the day-to-day HR functions starts from the kind of workers, what is the worker, what is the name of what is employee, and what is the leave provision, holidays, absenteeism, plus joining and exit formalities of the employees, termination, warning letters, show cause notices, plus retrenchment. All the activities are, directed or guided by the standing orders. If I'm working in HR and I'm going to uh, making settlement upon the grievance of any employee, for example, in regards to his absenteeism, habitual absenteeism. So what I need to do, I must follow the provisions laid down under these my certified company certified standing orders. Number one, oral warning, then warning letter number one, number two, number three. Then if employee is unable to mend his or her ways, becomes regularly absent, then we need to take a necessary step against or decision against his such act. So hence, for example, if I do talk about the payroll, for example, in payroll we have certain labor laws which are required to be implemented by the HR department, like minimum wages, payment of wages, gratuity, bonus, you know, deduction from the salaries like PF, ESI, then employer contribution, and how these acts, all the principles or the guidelines, how to implement these laws are already given under these laws. The provisions are there, procedures are there. Nowadays, we have online systems. Suppose if I am working on the EPF, every month EPF deduction is made from the employee's salary who are eligible to be covered under the PF. Okay, their PF deduction is made from their monthly salary, and the employer contribution is added. Then a combined challan is to be required to be submitted via online, right? And the fees or the challan amount is to be deposited in the SBI or other authorized bank. So in this way, every month we are doing this practice, and after the period of 12 months, we need to submit a 1 year PF return to the PF office. In the same way, all such laws, any law like factory, payment of wages, minimum wages, PF, ESI, bonus, gratuity, or standing orders, regulations for contract and abolition of contract labor, sexual harassment of women at workplace. So all these are applicable, laws are applicable in my factory. This is the prime responsibility of my being HR head or HR manager to implement these laws or the provisions as laid down under these laws as per the procedure which has already been mentioned under these laws. There are certain forms, online systems which are to be managed by us. For example, various returns are submitted on online. Suppose I do talk about the Apprentice Act and Employment Act. So PF, ESI, bonus form D, gratuity annual return, factory act annual return. So many combined returns are added in with the factory act, and during the month of February under form 21 relates to how many female and male workers are working in my factory, how much is their annual earning, their OT, their working hour. All such returns, a book of a combined book of returns is required to be submitted by the concerned factory or the company to the respective office, means ALC office, factory registrar's office, annually or 2 times in a year, right? So in brief, I have told you what is statutory compliance. Nowadays, there is a change has been made under these compliances in 2024. Courts associated with the labor laws or regulations have been introduced by our respective parliament. So these codes are like code on wages, code on social security. Social security is what, like PF, ESI, gratuity. Okay. And uh, industrial relation code, industrial relation act 1947. So a code or some provisions have been implemented, and in short, few provisions have been combined, like retrenchment, etc. Then the occupational health and safety. So employee needs to know about the POSH also. All these provisions of health and safety and workers benefit have been mentioned in under POSH. So these are in brief are certain laws. So in brief or as a conclusion, I would like to say that if you are working in the HR department, being a HR manager, so if I am working as a HR head in any company or a manager, my prime responsibility is to implement certain labor laws in my factory. The labor law is what? Statutory compliance of HR is what? It's a legal framework under which company is adherent to safeguard the interest of the workers and the employees. The employees' 360-degree activities are to be governed under the labor laws. For example, if company needs to pay bonus under Factory Act to any employee who has worked for more than 20 days during this period from 1st April to 31st March, he or she is eligible to receive the bonus. The company has to pay bonus minimum 8.33% to him or her if her wages or his wages is selling up to 1,000,000 per month, right? So my friends, and how whether you are implementing these statutory norms on regular basis or perfectly. Yes, we have HR department used to maintain one statutory compliance tracking chart on monthly basis. So in this tracking chart, we used to mention that what are the returns to be submitted this month. For example, PF, PSI, and minimum wages, etc. We used to submit the returns and make tick upon that chart. So this annual chart we need to follow. Primarily, the period of this chart is from 1st April to 31st March of the next year. If all the returns have been submitted in due times, means or we are having companies maintaining such records and register, it assures us that yes, of course, statutory compliance is being implemented in my company in its best way. Okay friends, so I hope so that you would like this video, and in a very short note I have told you, given you some introduction about the statutory compliance, how these compliance or laws are or regulations are to be implemented into the factory, what is the procedure, and what are the records and register to be maintained, and basically a tracker of statutory compliance implementation has to be maintained by the HR department on annual basis. So friends, thanks for watching this video, and after a long gap of time I am communicating with you. Hope so you would like this video, and definitely if you like to listen some my uh, views on any topic, so you may ask, and don't forget to please subscribe my channel, because definitely if I'm doing this hard work, and it would be appraised only if you viewers will like my channel. And also please don't forget to make improvement in my channel. If you have some advices, you want some improvement in any work in my working area in this YouTube, so you can advise me. Thanks for all your giving time, precious time to watch my